Mario from Influence. Welcome to our new episode of our Influence interviews with entrepreneurs. Today I have Mads from BRICpro, a startup that makes both easier and more transparent for companies to find manufacturing partners abroad. So some highlights about Mads. He has a bachelor and master's degree in economics from the University of Copenhagen. He has worked close to diplomats and trade councils, for example for the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Since 2011, Mads is an entrepreneur. He's the co-founder and CEO of BRICpro, of which he will tell us more about it in some time. And besides Denmark, Mads has lived in Hong Kong and Cyprus. So good afternoon, Mads. Thanks you for joining me today.
Thank you.
So Mads, starting a business is pretty hard. What is your experience with BRICpro? Like, is it your first experience as an entrepreneur?
No, actually it's not. It's second.
Second, okay.
So, well, my first startup was assisting a Chinese company to actually start up here in Scandinavia.
Oh.
And that was purely based on, it was a consultant service, so it's, it was just consultancy about how you do and like the tax system and pitfalls and dangers and opportunities and all this. So it could be like very practical, but it could also be on a very high strategic level. So so I'm an economist, so of course it was mainly, the service was mainly turned around like pricing and market analysis and stuff like this.
Yeah. But then you have always been, in a way, trying to connect China or Asian countries or the emerging economies with Denmark.
Yeah.
Where did you get your inspiration to do that? How did you find that was your place to be?
Yeah, well, I've always found like international politics very interesting. And a couple of years ago and throughout my entire education, I worked part-time in the Danish Foreign Ministry.
Okay.
And then, when the opportunity came and they sent me to Hong Kong to work on the consulate general there, it was just a very unique experience. And from that moment on, I kind of knew that I wanted to do something internationally. If it was trade or politics, I didn't know back then, but now it's more trade than actually politics. So,
Can you tell us a bit more what you do exactly in BRICpro?
Yeah, so in BRICpro we are two founders. So there's me, I'm an economist, and then the other co-founder is another Danish guy, and he's a cabinet maker. So
what do you say he is?
Cabinet maker.
Cabinet maker.
Yeah. So he makes furnitures.
Okay.
So that's his quality. So this means that we have two very different personalities, and then this also brought. If you look at my own company, it brought like the focused area was just broadened because there was suddenly some strategic that we could offer and some practical pure production. So this was like the key driver and why where BRICpro is today is that now it's two different personalities, whereas my own startup was just one personality. Yeah, and today we're expanding pretty big, so a lot of people now employed. And
how many are you now?
Yeah, I think we are like 9 people.
And in different countries, right? So.
Yeah, 9 people in various countries. So we have an office in Copenhagen and in Berlin and New York, and 2 places in India and 1 in China. So.
Oh, man, it's doing good, and you only started just a few years ago.
Yeah. So it's going really fast. So really punch a good hole in the outsourcing industry.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you enjoy being an entrepreneur? I mean, what is the best part of being an entrepreneur for you?
Maybe I should tell first what it is that I do.
Ah, okay, sorry. Well, your specific job, yeah.
Yeah. So I introduced the other company startup, which it's closed now or it's just moved over in BRICpro.
Yeah, no, of course.
So what we do is we do ethical outsourcing.
Yeah.
Ethical production outsourcing.
Yeah.
So we basically assist Western companies to outsource production. So everything there is in this category we pretty much cover. So if you look on it on a practical level, we just take a design from a Western company and sell them a product back. So we take care of the entire production.
Okay.
And how that works down to earth, that they send us a design and we go to a manufacturer and we send a product back.
Okay.
That's how it works. It's like a triangle.
That's really cool. So it's not that you just open the doors, but you actually add value during the whole process.
We're doing the whole production also.
Was it always like that, or?
No. That you know, the business model has just been changing so much, but this last year it's been like that. It used to be that we just did a connection. So if you had a wish that you wanted to produce something, then I just connected you to that factory. See, where our strength is the knowledge about the factory. So we basically spend a lot of time just visiting hundreds of factories, finding only the good manufacturers. And when I mean good, I mean it like it's double. So it's good in terms of production, that they can make quality products, but also good in terms of an ethical standard. See, we found out from my time in the foreign ministry and from Nicholas's time, he was making furniture in China before that. We found out that you never really know if the place that makes your product is ethical or not. I mean, is it a sweatshop or is it like as we know it from here?
No, of course.
So we wanted to create like this transparent tool that people could actually know, or they are guaranteed that the place that they make their products, it's good in terms of the CSR, corporate social responsibility.
So well understood that, and then. But have you had experience? I mean, selling this when you try to find new customers, do they put a lot of emphasis in this, the social side of your business? I mean, do they really appreciate? Do they see the value addition in that?
It's to a certain level they all do. It's not that many people that that proactively want to support child labor.
No,
so
of course.
Everybody is interested in that somebody has been, somebody has been out there taking care of this, so that they know for sure that I'm not supporting that kind of stuff. So to that degree, everybody is willing to
invest in risk mitigation in a way.
So everybody wants ethical production to a certain level.
Yeah.
When if you have to do extra than that, it's people are becoming it's becoming diversified. So some people are very interested that this factory that makes their good is 100% sustainable to the environment. Some other people don't really care. They just don't want to support inhumane conditions. And some people again want like the middle way, that if you can say that these people are offered additional health care, then that's fine with me. But anything besides that is not needed.
Makes a lot of sense.
So, also depending on what's the strategy of the company, of the Western company. Do they want to make a brand where they promote themselves for their activities? Do they want to say that we are a green brand, meaning that we do good for the environment? Well, then they probably have a higher standard to the manufacturer. Whereas it's just a normal company who just want to make good products for low money, then they just have a minimum.
And your clients are mostly small, medium-sized Western companies, or do you also have bigger clients?
Yeah, it's actually we both serve big and small. To begin with, of course, we started out just focusing on small enterprises.
Yeah.
But after some time, also the larger one has found us interesting. So
that's good.
Yeah, now we're making for really big companies. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
What I like about your business, or what I find it interesting as well, is that we're here in a startup incubator. There's around 50, 100 companies here, and most of them they're trying to do something that's very high tech, like the technology startup. And you have a different angle, of course. The idea of working with supply chains, working with factories, working with things that you can touch. It's good to see that the young people as well can just go and I do that as well. I mean, it just opens the mind that you don't need to only create there's other ways to create a successful business.
But that's also, I mean, I couldn't see myself doing this exact business if I didn't team up with my, my co-founder, because he's the one he brings the practical. I mean, if it was just me, I would just do probably consultancy or a tech company or something, right?
So he had experience doing this, getting production up and running.
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet and say, okay, let's go and start a business together? I mean, did it happen organically, or was it just
totally random?
Totally random.
Totally random. I mean, I met his girlfriend while I was living in Hong Kong, and he was, and she was the one who introduced us, because we both had all these crazy ideas that we wanted to create a company that also did something good. I mean,
of course.
That was I guess you grow tired some way of hearing this from both of us, and then so like, okay, guys, you should seriously meet. I remember he said that you should seriously meet, because we have similar ideas, but.
Well, that's good. Like when, and it seems that it worked out as well, right? So.
Yeah.
And then, because I was just wondering as well, like then, but even if you have two co-founders, is it you mostly running the day-to-day operations of the business, like the CEO, right?
Yeah, that's me. So that's where, that's also where which you enjoy the most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he don't enjoy just sitting around in front of a computer all day. It's more like he's very creative, and he's very mindful about small details of products, whereas an email or contract is just get it done. Where I'm the opposite. Okay, focus on what it says here on the paper, and then a chair is a chair, right? So
that's good in a way. They always say that the co-founders should complement each other in different ways, right? So and it seems that you guys have a good match in that way. So
Mm-hmm.
So can I ask you a few more personal questions, perhaps? Just find your story of what, for example, you were talking about your strengths and what are you good at. I mean, is there one thing that you are like? Do you say, okay, this is my biggest strength, this is what as an entrepreneur I just go and push it forward?
No, I don't know.
You can take your time to think, and it's not good or right answer, good or bad answer, it's just asking.
Biggest strength. I don't know.
Yeah, no worries. It's just fine. It's also thinking about again, it's really hard to be successful in a startup. Honestly, like being I've had a startup before myself, and now doing this again. It's, and I know it's hard. And to see you guys, getting big clients, going to the factories, doing something big. It's admirable, and in a way, and I'm sure you have a lot of things, maybe you don't really have it pinpointed in your mind what it is, but it's something that you really take it and just push it forward. So that's cool. And then these experiences abroad you have, you already say in Cyprus, you are in Hong Kong.
I know what my biggest strength is.
Okay, go ahead.
It's kind of like that. I feel very satisfied I often feel very satisfied in the situation that I'm in.
Okay.
So I don't think I could be an entrepreneur if I was being stressed out or unhappy, and because it's just well, this is on a personal level.
It's good.
Professionally, it's probably something else, but on a personal level, is that I'm quite satisfied in wherever situation I've been in. It's very likely that I will be satisfied. Because I put myself in that situation, so it's very.
That's the it's entrepreneurship. When you work, for example, in a foreign ministry, you try to have this satisfaction as well. Well, that's good actually. I wish I would be more like that myself. I'm always trying to ambition, do more, and can do better and stuff.
Oh yeah, but I'm ambitious as well, and then but also if maybe if I let's say I don't reach a goal, I want to be here. I want to be in this situation. I want to be, but I don't get there. But then it's very easy for me to be satisfied with that as well.
That's really
and
good.
I'm not really disappointed in not being, and I'm, but I'm not really. Yeah, I'm just satisfied.
That's really interesting. I mean, it really helps. So
Yeah.
absolutely. So, and honestly, as an entrepreneur, I mean, do you find it hard sometimes being an entrepreneur? Do you have like some moments that you say like, "Wow, this is hard," or some challenges?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember any moment where you said, "Man, this BRICpro thing is not going to work"? Or did you have it?
It's actually. I think it's harder now that it's becoming more real. So in the beginning, it was still like if you had this if you had some clay, and then you could just remodel the way you are.
Exactly.
Now it's like it's there, and you have responsibility to deliver something to him. At the same time, you have 10 responsibilities, these hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So it's like now you just have so much on your table. So it's that's what when I sometimes waste that. Okay, maybe I should just have taken the easy way. Because it's hard to. Sometimes you can just get carried away that you don't really. I like to reflect and stuff, and sometimes I don't have time to reflect. Not even in the weekend. I just have to work. So
work. But I mean, at least it makes you feel that things are going in the right direction.
Yeah, but I love what I do. But I think it was easier for me to love it a few phases back. Whereas now it's I need to sit down and actually think that okay, I love what I do. Why don't I appreciate it? So
exactly.
It's becoming harder and harder to get satisfied with where I am. Still very satisfied, but it's becoming. It was easier before.
I know, of course. I mean, but it's a good problem to have. Then you can figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's normal. When you're becoming more and more established, just more and more. It's not just about you anymore.
No,
It's
exactly.
about for me. It's about the customers. It's about my employees, but it's also about the people that's on the factories and the one we are trying to help, right? So
exactly.
There's just a lot of things on your shoulders. And
Oh, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And what do you see as moving forward? Let's say, where do you see BRICpro? Like, if you had the time to think, where do you see BRICpro in the next year, 2 years, 5 years?
I think the good thing about BRICpro, from my perspective, is that we're not in it to exit.
Yeah.
So a lot of startups they actually plan to be sold, so they can start something new. For me and for my co-founder, this is a project for life, So there's a bit of everything that I want to achieve in my career. There's of course there's a business that I can drive forward. But there's also a social aspect that I can actually. When I'm done, when I'm old, I can actually leave the world a better place than when I entered. So that's a huge motivation for me, and that's pretty much what I plan to achieve, in my professional career.
That's really good. Sounds nice.
So in terms of where do I see BRICpro in a couple of years, I just see that we go down that lane, creating this life project kind of thing. So. Just a lot of people have wanted to buy in this idea, but we just said no because we believe in organic growth of this company.
Yeah.
So
and it's also right. I mean, your business is very based on relationships as well.
Yeah.
It's not that you can buy relationships that much.
So.
And actually, like thinking back, like being at your business, depends a lot on getting clients or getting trust from your clients. What was the first big break you had? Like, which was this client that like there was a small one at the beginning, or maybe it's a bigger one now that completely changed your made you feel like okay, this is real.
Yeah.
You remember an experience like that? Or?
Yeah, I remember an experience like that. This summer we were traveling in India to. We were visiting some factories, and then we had like a Skype conference with this big furniture company, right?
Okay.
And when we told him about the idea, he just liked it so much. Like yeah.
Wow.
So that was. I remember from that point, I was like, okay, maybe we have something here. And
That's good.
Yeah.
And it's not so long ago, right? So I mean,
No, that's
it's
not so long ago. Before that, we were just still like trying to get through the darkness, like where should we go? I didn't feel like could have went either way back then,
No, exactly.
It's like if you walk with your eyes closed, you think people want this, so you should go in this direction. But
No, exactly.
when somebody like very important finally told you you're there, then that was good.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. And I'm happy for that. I mean, you guys do this connection is good. Let me see if we have time for one more question, perhaps. Like when you look at entrepreneurs, let's say someone who wants to create a business who has never been an entrepreneur watches this video. What would you tell them? I mean, what would be your advice to people who are just starting with a business?
Well, if it's a Danish person, then
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
First for the Danes, then for the rest of the world.
Yeah, for the Danes first. Danes are kind of like maybe a bit suspicious sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that there's not that many entrepreneurs here. I mean, probably compared to other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And well, for the Danes, I can only recommend that you actually talk about your idea with somebody. A lot of people that I've met is very protective over their idea. So, for instance, let's say I go to a conference and talk about my experience when being an entrepreneur or something, and then people come talk to me in the break and say, I also have a cool idea.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! Tell me. I know I can't tell you because
Oh yeah.
then you're gonna steal it. Maybe I could help you. Maybe somebody else. Maybe your father or mother or a friend could help you. You just need to talk about it.
You don't have the time to go and steal an idea. So
yeah, and it's also a shame that maybe this guy who talked to me in the break, he didn't want to tell the idea. Maybe he go on with it, which is cool. He become an entrepreneur, but maybe after 1 year he realized that there was a mistake he made. There was something fundamentally wrong with his idea.
Yeah.
But then it was better that I told him that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he only had to spend 5 minutes on the idea because I can see from the beginning maybe there's something wrong. Whereas now he wasted an entire year.
Yeah, but I think it's not something that only for the Danes. I think like I have been quite around the world myself. Of course, there's people who are more verbal than others.
Right.
But I mean, many people are still afraid of sharing their idea because you say somebody will steal them or like they're afraid of getting feedback. And like one of the big trends in the startup world now is get your product or whatever you have out as fast as possible. Get feedback and then take it from there. Because I mean, as you say, like especially I mean, it's always good to get that feedback. And besides that, I mean, it's as they say, ideas are cheap. What's hard is to implement. So.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a revolutionary idea out there that nobody has. There's way too many people in the world. So.
And for the rest of the world.
Yeah. Okay. You have something else. So.
That's also for the Danes, but also
Yeah.
for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's just that failure is I think part of this.
Yeah.
Is that you just make a lot of wrong decisions throughout when creating a company, and it's just about realizing those mistakes and then maybe change it.
Yeah. Can you give us, for example, just to finish that off, like one mistake you had in BRICpro at the beginning or in your other business, and how you change it and how you overcome the mistake?
Yeah. Okay. So we didn't have any like major ones, but we had a lot. I mean, first of all, we made the business model totally wrong.
Okay.
Probably Niklas also know that we made some mistake with the production, but this is for me a mistake I did was that I made the business model wrong. And that basically took me I think 1 year to realize maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. So first I was selling a service. The entire service was like based on what I thought people wanted. So that's what we created the company on. But I realized like after a year that people were interested in a slightly different service.
Mhm.
So we had to change that. We just maybe just realized that some time before.
But I mean, good, you changed on time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. I mean, honestly, like, even myself or the other companies here, it's I mean, as you say, startup is trial and error. It happens all the time.
Mm.
So, to finish off, it has been great to hear your story more in detail, Mads. I mean, it's really cool. And then I suggest everyone to check www.BRICpro.com. That's where they can learn more about your company. Is there something else you would like to share with the audience, or something else you would like to? I mean, besides that, they should check what you guys do. If they have any production, they should go and call you. As well.
Yeah. Do that.
Clients from every country in
Clients
the
from
world.
every country. Yeah. No, but to other entrepreneurs, I wish we could all maybe if you have this business idea, then try to incorporate social entrepreneurship as well into it. It's just doesn't have to be much, but if you all take out our responsibility for a very complex world, then maybe we could change it to something better.
That's really good. Good to hear. Thank you much for joining this video today,
Thank you.
and all the best for BRICpro.
Danke.